Okay, we are looking at two piecewise functions, one called f of x, one called g of x. F of x is made up of two different equations, split by the domain at -2. G of x is made up of three different equations, 1, 2, 3, split by the domain at two different places, one at -1, and then again at 2. So you're asked to evaluate, I think I need to zoom out even a little bit more here. There we go. You're asked to evaluate g of -4. So the first thing you have to do is decide between the functions f or g, and that comes from this letter right here. Because it's g of -4, I know I'm going to be picking between this one, or this one. So the next thing I need to know is I need to really make sure I recognize that g of -4 is basically telling me that my x value is -4. So then I need to kind of look at what my domain is and decide which of these do I pick based on the number x is -4. Well, if x is less than -1, I'm supposed to pick this guy. If x is between -1 and 2, I pick this one. And if x is bigger than 2, I pick the third equation. Well, -4 is definitely less than -1, so I want to pick the first function. I'm going to pick, well, the first equation in the function. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to plug in -4 right here. Now be careful, it's -x plus 4. I put parentheses around it because I really want it to be clear that that negative is separate from the x. When I plug in my -4, I'm going to plug in a -4, and there's a negative from the equation. So really what it becomes is 4 plus 4, which is 8. Move it up just a little bit more. And then my final answer really is just to write this thing in the full function notation. Oops, I started to do f. Nope, it's g. G of -4. So I will fix that there. G of -4 is 8. And that alone is my final answer. Didn't quite catch it there. But what I just want to make sure that you also recognize that this is basically just saying that your x value is -4 and then your y value is 8. You've also written it as a coordinate many times in your math career, but this is how we write it now in function notation. G of -4 equals 8.